Hello everybody, welcome back to Jordan Talks Football. Big news for Liverpool as Konate announces he is leaving the club after apparently they couldn't decide on the contract and decided that this was the end for his career. 5 years at Liverpool and he has been a pretty good player for us overall. Pretty much you would say he's up there being legendary status, I think, for Jurgen Klopp. And obviously winning the title with Slot in his first season looking very good. But this leaves Liverpool in the lurch, doesn't it? Because obviously Liverpool have got a lot of work to do in this transfer window. Jeremy Jacquet has already been confirmed to come in from the January signing of him. And looks like he could replace Konate as the right centre-back, with Van Dijk being the left centre-back for next season. But are Liverpool going to sign another centre-back? Because honestly, I think it's quite likely, in my opinion, that Liverpool could look to buy another centre-back that's a bit more senior, that could play with Van Dijk next season straight away and then maybe replace him in the lineup going forward. We've seen a lot of rumours to do with Schlotterbeck from Dortmund, who I think is a great centre-back. Only 26, by the way, and left-footed, so he could go in, play next to Van Dijk and then play left-sided centre-back if Van Dijk does leave next year on a free, which seems to be happening an awful lot at Liverpool at the minute. Lots of transition going on in general. But you can look from Liverpool, as we've seen, we are clearly in a period of transition. We've got Iraola potentially becoming the new manager, and we've got Salah, Robertson and Konate all leaving this summer. Big period of transition for Liverpool, and it looks as though we are going to be potentially signing a centre-back to replace Konate in the starting lineup, which would be an interesting one. What do you think about this? Because obviously Liverpool are in a situation now where they've also got to replace Salah, so they're probably going to get Diamande or someone like that for the right-wing position, and then they're probably going to need one or two more forwards to replace, the lack of goal output that we had, and obviously Ekitike out for potentially a year. We're also going to need to replace him in the short term, and obviously the left wing position with Gakpo wasn't ideal last season either. So there's quite a few positions just in the forward line there that probably need reinforcements in. Liverpool probably need 2 or 3 forwards, if I'm being completely honest, unless Iraola can come in and make absolute miracles happen with Gakpo and the players we already have. Obviously Chiesa is also there as an option, who may see himself potentially getting some more game time under Iraola as well. So there are quite a few interesting stories that could come out of Liverpool, with people potentially getting a new opportunity under a new manager as well, who were previously pretty much ousted by Slot. So it's going to be fascinating to see where some of these stories do go for Liverpool. But obviously, like I said, Salah needs replacing, so at the very least a right winger needs to come in. I think Tsimikas is coming back on loan from Roma for Liverpool, who will probably go in and be the backup for Kerkez going into next season. Obviously, we know that Iraola really liked Kerkez because he played under him and he was very good. In reality, we're probably going to be in a situation here, I would say, where the left-back situation is probably not going to get addressed by Liverpool unless we buy someone who can play left-back and right-back. But in reality, I think the right-back situation more pressing, with Conor Bradley and Frimpong continuously picking up injuries every single season. Frimpong was injured for large parts of last season, and Bradley obviously with the major knee injury that he had, but in previous seasons has also been out for 10, 12, 15 games a season. Pretty much every season we've had him, to be honest, despite being a fantastic player. So obviously, Liverpool looking like they probably need to strengthen centre-back, right-back. Central midfield is obviously an issue as well, with the lack of legs and physicality that seem to be in there. Although, again, that could be addressed by a new manager bounce and the manager actually utilising the players in a better way, and also training them harder, which leads to better fitness as well. But overall, Liverpool looking like they are in a situation right now where there are quite a few areas that need to be addressed. And obviously, like I said, Schlotterbeck has been talked about at centre-back. We've got Wharton being talked about in central midfield. Continued rumours of Barcola on left wing, Diamande on the right wing. And then also there have been some other, less prominent rumours floating around. Maybe Alex Scott coming from Bournemouth. Krupi also being linked for Bournemouth as well. I can imagine Iraola being in a situation where he does pinch a few players from Bournemouth going forward. But obviously, Konate probably a big loss for Liverpool in reality. Having a poor season last season, Konate was. But I think under a new manager, he probably could have been utilised better and protected better by the midfield, which probably would have led to better output for him. Like I said, in the Premier League winning season for Liverpool 2 years ago now, I thought Konate was really, really good. And I think it's probably because he got more shielding from the midfield area. I thought McAllister, Gravenberch and Szoboszlai in that season won us the league. That midfield three of those three were absolutely imperious in that campaign. And the drop-off last season honestly needs to be studied, I think. It was a very, very, very large drop-off for many players from Liverpool last season. I don't know if it was a combination of the malaise surrounding Diogo Jota's death and also just the tactics, the boring style. Maybe the players lost faith in the manager. But it really seemed like something happened to Liverpool where they just couldn't play football anymore. And it was weird because you saw in pre-season, Liverpool were playing this really good ticky-tacky football against Arsenal in pre-season, ripping them to pieces recently. I think we won 3-0. And we were playing this amazing, fast-flowing football. And then there was just a malaise over last season for Liverpool. It really looked like we were struggling badly. There seemed to be just a lack of that real intensity that really eclipsed and encapsulated the title-winning season for me, which I think will come back under Iraola because he's a very aggressive, intense, physical running manager, which I think is going to be brilliant for the fans at Liverpool, but also brilliant for the players that we have and getting the best out of them. But it means, with Iraola coming in so early in this transfer window, what is going to happen in terms of the signings? Because obviously if he gets done really early in the next week or so, then Liverpool are going to have time here to bring players in that they need and get them pre-seasoned. Obviously the World Cup's going to put a spanner in the works to an extent, but you would expect that Liverpool are probably going to be able to bring in quite a few players before the start of next season to really give Iraola the players that he would want to play his style and also reinforce the players that we've lost. So it's interesting. Let me know your thoughts down below. Do you think Liverpool are going to sign a centre-back? Honestly, I think I could see us signing 4 or 5 players, maybe even 6 players. 2 or 3 forwards, I think, could be on the way in. At least 1 midfielder, a right back, and probably a centre-back as well. Let me know your thoughts down below. Do you think this is going to happen? As always, I appreciate you watching. Check back for daily videos. Let me know your thoughts down below. Let me know. And I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.